Let me ask you something. How many times have you downloaded a financial app, a budgeting app, a debt tracker, or a meal planner in the past 5 years? And yet you still feel behind. What if I told you that instead of adding another app, you could use AI as your financial assistant to build your budget, organize your debt, create meal plans, draft money scripts, and simplify financial decisions all in a few minutes. No new subscriptions, no steep learning curves, just smart prompting. Today, I am going to show you exactly how to use AI to streamline your finances as a busy woman without outsourcing your brain and losing control. I am going to show you the actual prompts I use that you can copy. I'll also have a downloadable page for you to access. Thank you so much for joining me here today at Sisters for Financial Independence. My name is Catherine Agupjan, and I am the creator of the Secure First Money Method. It is a 5-stage framework that helps women move from financial stress to financial confidence by doing money in the right order. Secure first, then build. Subscribe to get notified of new videos, but also to receive recommendations of our past popular videos, like this one on getting out of credit card debt or this one on budgeting for the first time. AI is here, but should you use it? It is a tool that many of us can use starting today to greatly streamline our lives. Now, we are all busy, and if you are like me, you are managing kids, groceries, work, calendars, appointments, and the emotional labor of it all. It's easy for money to fall through the cracks. And really, most women don't struggle with money because they're irresponsible. We struggle because we are overloaded and we don't have the right information in our hands. And this is where AI can come in. Introducing tools like AI into the mix can help you organize information, run calculations, generate structure, save time, and give you that second opinion. The reality is that money is still a very taboo subject, and many of us do not feel comfortable talking about money with our close friends. And this is where AI can be that gap for you, a place for you to ask the money questions without feeling silly, undereducated, or stupid. The key is all about using AI to supplement your judgment, your instincts, and your decisions. You are still doing the work, but you are delegating the drafting. It removes the busy work of getting your finances in order, and that can be a very powerful move. Before we dive in, the secure first rules to using AI safely. Number 1, AI is a tool. It is a reasoning engine, not a human CPA or a financial professional. It doesn't know your full financial picture unless you tell it. It can make mistakes, and it does not replace a tax or legal professional, and it should not be blindly trusted. And one thing you do want to look out for is that it can make calculation mistakes. So as a reminder, never give your social security number, full account number, passwords, or anything else to AI. Use nicknames like high yield savings account or my Chase card. Remember that AI is for the legwork, not for the final advice. I am going to demo 7 ways that you can use AI right now to improve your finances. Towards the end, I'm going to show you which AI I am using and why I chose this one. And I think you will agree with me when you start using this that this might be the right tool for you. Now, the prompts will be fairly simple to begin with, but of course, the more complex you make it and the more questions you ask it, the better results you will get. The first thing I would recommend is you use AI as a money coach. Now, shame is a very powerful thing. It keeps us from moving forward. And if you are feeling like you can't talk to a friend, a partner, or someone else about your money situation, AI can help you here. The great thing about AI is that it can build on information you give it, and it can go from very simple to complex when you are ready. Here's a beginning prompt that you can use. I'm struggling with my finances. I bring home around $6,500 a month. I have a rent payment of $2,300 and I'm racking up some credit card debt and I am now at $4,300 at 22%. Can you help figure out first steps? Ask me any questions to gather more information. Now, the information you provide will inform the kind of coaching it will do. A reminder not to share too much information here, like account numbers, and as with any coach, you have to review and use its advice carefully. Here is the result of that prompt. It says, good news, $6,500 a month is a solid income to work with, and catching this early puts you in a better position than most. It also asks a few questions, so it has a better idea of your financial situation. The 3 questions it asks are, what are your other monthly expenses beyond rent? How would you describe your current spending habits? And what are your biggest financial concerns right now? And depending on your answers, it will give you feedback on your financial situation. And the big thing that it says is the fact that your spending varies month to month and you're not sure where it all goes is actually the core issue to solve first. This is where you need stability first. You need to figure out where your money is going before you can focus on the other things. Now, it also gives you additional feedback below, including 8 first steps. And it gives it in order. First thing, do a 30-day spending audit. See where your money is going. And then it can help build you a simple fixed budget so you know your real numbers. And next step, stop the credit card bleed to ensure you are not putting yourself in danger with credit card debt. So depending on the information that you provided will determine the kind of financial coaching it does for you. Not bad as a money coach, right? The next thing that you're going to use AI for is to analyze spending. Now, AI tools are very adept at analyzing data. So in this case, you can have AI analyze your spending by uploading your credit card and debit card transactions. These are easy to download as a CSV from your online accounts. I prefer the .csv option because it's already removed personal information like account numbers, names, and addresses, and just purely outputs the transaction information. And here's a sample prompt that you are going to try. Here is my Chase credit card transactions for 2025. Summarize my spending. What are my top merchants? How much did I spend at each? How many transactions were less than $20? What were my recurring subscriptions? How much did I pay in fees or interest? And what transactions were yearly transactions? So here is the result of its spending analysis. Notice it also gives me this beautiful dashboard here that I can see right away. It gives me the total charge, net spend, transactions total, as well as some of the answers to the questions I asked. How many transactions were under $20? Around 47. How much did I pay in fees and interest? Around 95. And that tracks because I do have an annual fee on this card of $95, but there's no other charges on this card, so your debt, which I indicated earlier, is likely on a different card. Now, it also gives me some summaries. I am seeing a spending flag. It's saying that I have 2 fitness memberships on this card that's totaling almost $6,000 a year. And if you're using it both heavily, that's a lifestyle choice. But if one is underused, canceling it nearly pays off your other card balance in 9 months. So I know for a fact that when I was younger, I had a gym membership and I did not use that. So it was a lot of money accruing for something that I wasn't used. So I'm glad that asks me to be honest with my spending. It's also summarizing other things like how much am I paying for groceries? Whoa, that's around $9,000 for the partial year. This could be an area where we could put in a firm monthly cap and so forth. So if you do this and you put up all of your spending analysis, you're going to get some honest feedback about what you're spending money on. Of course, no shame in it, but just know the data and see what you can move forward with. I also added the question of what were my yearly transactions? Because from experience, most budgets fail because we are not planning enough. Meaning we have these costs that come up every year, but they surprise us, which breaks down our monthly budget and puts us into this cycle of failure. So understanding these costs can help you prepare better. And if you're unsure what that means, I am going to point you to this video for how to create an annual budget so that you can prepare for these kinds of once a year costs, and it's part of your overall yearly budget, not just the month to month. As you see the numbers, remember not to dwell too much on what's happened and what you've spent your money on, but how you can move forward. The goal is to make these insights from AI actionable. Now, for us, when I found that we were spending thousands at Amazon and had a lot of knick-knack clutter at home, I had a conversation with my husband and we decided to cancel Prime. Now, we still use Amazon, but without that free shipping, we became much more intentional about what we buy. So now that both you and AI understand where your money is going, it's time to use AI to create a budget. A budget is all about intentional spending. It's planning ahead for your money. You work hard for it. Don't let it get away so easily. Here's a prompt that you can use to create a budget. Create a zero-based monthly budget for our family of 4, making $6,500 per month after taxes. Include daycare, groceries, sinking funds, and $400 towards credit card debt and $200 towards student loan debt, and the data from the credit card transactions. Highlight categories that need a thorough review. Here is the result of that prompt. It has created a zero-based monthly budget based on that take-home income and for a family of 4. The budget is built around 5 sections: fixed expenses, debt payments, sinking funds, groceries and gas, as well as variable and lifestyle, and has also flagged categories for you to review based on the credit card data we uploaded earlier. So what you'll need to do is edit and modify and review this budget to make it your own. What is your family prioritizing? Where does your spending need to be capped so that you are saving or actively investing? Now, this is yours to edit. So you can actually, there's a portion of this where you can just open it in Pages, open it in Google Drive, and make those changes. You can review the items that it's also flagged and follow some of the steps if it fits for your financial goals. It has some of these immediate action items that you can just check off so you know you stay in your financial plan and you reach your financial goals. At the bottom, it also has your debt payoff projection. I'll also show you how you can use AI to project your debt payoff if you have debt that you need to address. Remember that this budget is the first go around. It's a draft, so you can adjust it as you need, but now you have a start. It's organized information and categories, it's allocated amounts, and it's structured the entire thing for you. And you basically just eliminated an hour of spreadsheet frustration. So try it and see what it comes up for you. As you review the budget, this is where AI can also be powerful. You can create different scenarios for your budget. Can you give me a scenario where I am putting $600 towards a credit card? Give me a scenario if our income drops to 20%. What will that look like? So you'll want to be strategic when you're prompting AI so that it gives you different scenarios for your money. With your budget in place, the next way that you can use AI is as a debt strategist. Now, if you're staring at a credit card balance, a car loan, BNPL, the math can feel paralyzing, but AI takes the emotion out of it. And here's a prompt that you can use. Let's say, for example, that you have a debt in the following: a credit card at $4,300 at 22%, student loans at $5,000 at 9%, and a personal loan at $2,000 at 0% until December 2026 when it goes to 18%. You can ask it to compare Snowball versus Avalanche payoff timelines. Here's a result of that prompt to understand and have a plan in place to pay off debt. Now, it has created this nice visual for us to look at so that the debt doesn't seem so daunting. It lists what we owe: credit card, student loan, personal loans, and the extra monthly payment that's available for us to put into this debt. And it also gives us a few scenarios. It's compared Avalanche versus Snowball, how we can pay off this debt. If we do Avalanche, which focuses on the debt with the highest interest rate, gets us debt free in 18 months, and we only pay $866 in interest, versus Snowball takes us longer, 21 months, and we pay a little bit more in interest. But this is also really up to your preference and really what gives you motivation. The Snowball is one of the easiest ways to pay off debt because it has those small motivations along the way when you've paid off the smaller amounts and you continue going on that debt-free journey. And it also gives some flags about what's happening here. The personal loan rate jumps to 18% in December 2026. So you have to be aware of that so that you don't get caught off guard when that time period ends for the 0%. Click on each tab to see what that looks like, what it means, where your money is going, whether you're doing Avalanche, Snowball, as well as the timeline for your debt and when you will be free. AI is very good at scenario planning. So as scenarios, what if you put extra $100 toward your debt? What if you can lower the interest rate by 2%? What does that mean for your debt? For someone drowning in debt, clarity lowers anxiety immediately. It turns chaos into actionable insight that you can take forward. And of course, I'm going to encourage that you check the math on this. Pull up a credit card balance calculator that you can find online and just type in your original balance, your interest rate, as well as what you're about to pay. That way, you just run the calculations against each other and you get an approximate for the timelines and ensure that it has calculated properly for when you can get this debt paid off. The other thing that takes up a lot of mental space for me is grocery shopping and meal planning. And let's be real here, that most budgeting advice ignores the fact that the grocery store is where most budget goes to die. And with food costs a big stressor right now, it's time to get AI on your side. Here's an example of a prompt that you can use today to help you with grocery shopping as well as meal planning. I have $150 for groceries this week for a family of 4. I already have rice, black beans, and frozen chicken. Give me a 5-day meal plan for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snacks that uses those staples. Creates 0 food waste and generates a shopping list categorized by grocery store aisles. And if you can, please avoid nuts. Here is a result of that prompt. A beautiful interactive meal plan and shopping list where we can tap on each day to see what the menu is. Let's look at Tuesday. Oatmeal in the morning, black bean quesadillas for lunch, chicken and vegetables, as well as options for snacks. Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday all planned out for you, so you don't have to worry about scrambling or figuring out what to feed your family. It also gives you the 0 waste strategy. What goes to what day? Where does leftovers come from? This is a great way for you to offload some of that mental energy trying to come up with what to feed your family. Again, it's a draft. Figure out which one your family will like, keep it, and then remove the rest or add new ones. And it also gives you a shopping list so you are also prepared when you get to the grocery store and are not buying random things because you don't know what the plan is. Remember, a plan will save you money. So having a plan in place ensures you stick to your budget. So take a look and see what it comes up with for you depending on what you put in as a prompt for how to create a meal plan that works for your family. Maybe you only want meals that take 30 minutes or less to prepare, or maybe you want all of the shopping to be done at Costco, so have it make that list for you. The point of using AI in this scenario is to help you save money and to preserve some of your mental energy so that we can focus on other things for our families. We've had AI analyze our spending, but what if we want to dive a bit more? The biggest leak in a family budget is subscription creep. $10 here, $15 here, it all adds up. So in this case, let's have it review transactions from the credit card upload. Here is a sample prompt that you can use. Let's go back to the credit card spending. Identify every recurring monthly subscription and list them in a table by price and date. Then find any introductory offer online that I can take advantage of. Here's what I found when it came to subscriptions. This is partial data, actual real data from some of our transactions, and it's confirmed some of these recurring subscriptions, including the monthly cost, when it charges, and what we should do about it. I asked it to find ways for me to save on these subscriptions. A big thing in that list was Progressive Insurance, and it tells me that there might be an opportunity here to save some more money, especially if I'm already a customer. It talks about the Snapchat program, online sign up for discounts, a homeownership discount, or pay in. The fastest move is to call Progressive and see what kind of discount there might be, and that alone could save me $50 to $150 a year. It also gave me some feedback about the other items in that spending transaction list. There's a Costco membership. It's asking to see if I should upgrade to executive if we use it that often so we can get the rewards. There's also a statement here about what's not a subscription but it looks like it. These are repeat merchants but aren't subscriptions, so there doesn't seem like there's surprises hiding there. And now it's also going through the diligence of, do you want me to draft a script for the Progressive discount audit? So it's now starting you on that journey to understand what you're spending on. How can you save more money if you're already spending on these things anyways? And the last thing that you can use AI for is to help you track your progress. Have it help you create some custom trackers like a sinking fund tracker, a holiday budget planner, or a net worth template, or even a no spend month calendar. Here is what that looks like. So the prompt will be create a simple sinking fund tracker for home repairs, holidays, and car maintenance. And it's preloaded it with 3 funds based on what makes sense for your situation. Again, you can edit this depending on your financial goals and financial situation. The total is $375 per month to save into these different funds. Here is your visual for these funds and an option that you can export it to a PDF. So now you have your sinking fund tracker. You can highlight and color in and follow through to make sure you are saving for your goals. And this can be the start of you seeing your progress visibly, and you could make it a printable, you can make it a Google Sheets friendly, and if you're good with code, you can just copy and paste your code someplace where you can create a visual dashboard for your family. With this option, you can skip Etsy and build exactly what you need to keep track of your family's finances. For part 2 of how to use AI for your finances, we're going to go a bit more advanced and use some of its data analytics capabilities. So don't forget to subscribe to Sisters for Fi to see that video. If you are a beginner when it comes to AI, I would recommend you use ChatGPT or Gemini to start your foray into using AI for your finances. For all of the demos, I have used Claude AI. I find that Claude AI has a better visualization. We were able to see budget trackers. We were able to see some of those spending dashboard categories. I just find that visually appealing, and it can make seeing those numbers less daunting when it's not just in text form. I'd love to know any interesting prompts that you're putting in to help you with your finances. Leave them in the comments below and help someone out. Remember, if you are overwhelmed with your finances, you don't need to go complicated. You don't need another subscription, another app, or another system. You need structure, and the simplest use of AI can do that for you to organize your numbers, clarify your plan, reduce friction, and help you take action faster. Use it wisely. It can be a great financial assistant as a start. And for busy women, I know that's going to be a powerful thing. Now, if you want the exact list of these prompts so you can just copy and paste them, I've put together a free AI financial starter kit that you can find in a description below. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to give it a like and share it with a friend. And if you want more tips to help you with your money, this playlist to help you get out of credit card debt is super popular right now. And if you're a mom like me and want to know how else AI can help you with the mental load, this video is going to be for you. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.